All right. Hey, how you guys doing? Welcome back. Yay.
Woohoo!
Mikey and Lara, how are you?
Doing well. How about you?
Oh man, I love Thanksgiving because from a fat guy's perspective, this is the Olympics of eating. This is what you train for.
Oh yeah.
This is why you're big all year round. So How was your guys' Thanksgiving? Mikey, what did you do? Did you go? Well, wait a minute. What are we thankful for? Mikey.
We're thankful.
What did you get for
Florida
Thanksgiving?
State's football season is over. That's what I'm thankful for.
Well, no comment, but yeah.
I'm just kidding. I got a newborn, so we are rolling. We're in the.
And you got your own newborn. Not don't make it sound weird. Like you.
Yeah, we stole it from someone's grocery cart as they were walking around. Took their newborn. Just kidding. It's ours. It's or at least it's at least Emily's. We'll
We're certain of that.
We're certain of that. I bared witness. I saw the child be born, and
I would like to see the baby.
Actually, this is pretty good though. Now that I think about it, this is great. So the name of my child is Jason Briggs Puckett. We're gonna call him Briggs, but Jason was my youth pastor.
Oh,
wow.
So he actually came in town this week and held the baby. And we got to tell him that because he thought that we're calling it the baby Briggs, but we said his first name is Jason. And Jason's a single guy, been doing ministry for a while, and then he went to Chick-fil-A marketing and things like that. And so, I mean, I guess that's youth ministry too. You're still working with high schoolers, college kids.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So he hasn't ever stopped. So getting to tell him that and share that with him was pretty cool. So, and maybe one day our kids will name their children after us. We can only hope.
We can only hope.
Well, I have.
Is that peak youth ministry success? Like
I would say,
if a child is named Matt Hedinger.
Please don't name your kid that. No, here's a couple peaks for you. So early on in my career, I got really close to a family, and when they were born, they're not Catholic, but they had a godfather, and those two families fell out. And so when they were teenagers, those girls asked me to be their godfather.
Wow.
And not just in the kill people sense, like not just like, hey, if we need somebody whacked, would you do it for us?
Great movie, by the way.
Excellent. My all-time favorite movie. But one of my goddaughters, one of her sons, their middle name is Matthew. So I got the middle name. So I was like, but I think that's peak. And then the other thing that I think is peak that I got to experience for a very short period of time. I actually had a second generation youth group kid.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's peak.
That is peak. That is special and rare when you get to have the child of two of your youth group kids in your youth group. And maybe even more peak because both of those parents came and were volunteers in that same youth ministry at the same time. So that.
You're not a youth pastor. You're a family starter. You know what I mean? A family maker.
like a sourdough?
Yeah.
Family maker. Starter.
No, that's
You're
gross.
the bacteria in sourdough that makes.
Can we say catalyst maybe? Catalyst sounds way better than starter. Sounds like some crazy Mormon
family
thing.
builder,
I don't know.
family maker.
No, all those are bad.
Family producer.
No, stop. You stop using
family manufacturer.
Stop. You're in timeout. I'm going to mute Mikey here in a second. So, okay. Yeah. So we're so excited to welcome baby Griggs. What? I can't
Briggs.
talk.
Briggs.
I know what it is, but like my brain stopped working.
Jason Briggs, like Jason Bourne. Jason Briggs.
There you go. Baby Briggs. A little bit of a tongue twister. To the PCA Next Gen family. We're so happy for you, Mikey. That's so exciting.
Yes.
I did kind of out you a little bit to the whole team, didn't I? Did I do that wrong?
No, dude.
You told the podcast team, and then I told the whole Next Gen team in the wrong.
Oh no, that's great. It was great.
Oh, okay. I was like,
no secrets. This is baby 4, so no secrets.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have nothing. Right. People don't even know like the middle. Like people are like, oh, they know Trip.
You have other children? Yeah.
There's other children, and they're like, wait, this is the 4th? I thought they only had 2.
There's 4 Mikeys in the world. Yes,
exactly. All dudes.
All dudes. Yeah, we need to pray for your wife right now.
No, she does have to deal with a lot, especially. I mean, just with me for one, but then also with them. You know, there is a lot on the plate that she has to.
Mikey's gonna give us like the. We'll have another episode where Mikey does the breakdown of what does parenting look like with child 1, 2, 3, 4.
I mean, she has just been a champ. So, but it is tough. Lots of. My boys aren't just like chill boys either. They're very much.
First of all, no such thing.
I mean, like, you know, sometimes you see people with their boys and you're like, oh, wow, look at this well-behaved, well-combed, manicured hair child that says yes, ma'am, and yes, sir, and calls you by Mr. Puckett or whatever. And then there's my kid who's like, won't even talk to an adult, probably kicks them in the shins and gives them the bird on the way out of their house.
Like, I know I'm not from the South. And I have, and we all know that we have to respect how different families operate. I hate being called Mr. Hedinger by kids.
Yeah, I mean, that's just too much, man. Too many syllables. Was it syllables? Too many Mr. Hedinger. You know.
Well, no, the name's not easy, but
Mr. Head maybe.
I don't know. I don't like the Mr. It's the Mr.
Mr. Matt.
Like.
Oh,
Mr. Matt. I don't even like Mr. Matt's better, but
what
I
about
don't like Mr.
Matt Daddy.
No. Again, that's strike 2, Mikey. You're really close to getting time out. But no, just like I just want them to call me Matt. I don't even like Pastor Matt.
Yeah.
Like just call me Matt. But I respect.
What about Chuck?
Easy. No. You're not allowed to use my middle name unless you're my wife or my mother. Those are the only 2 people that.
So that's when do the kids even know your middle name? That's the real question.
I generally don't bring it. It's not. I don't care if you call me Chuck. That's not bad. It's when anybody tries to use the full name.
Oh yeah.
That's like Jesus calling out like the demons. Like that's like that's using authority that you don't have when you're like Matthew Charles Hedinger. Nope.
That's
flag on the play. They're not allowed.
Yeah.
And I don't even think my mother ever. Like I can't even remember as a kid being called all 3 things.
My mom never really did that.
Yeah, my mom didn't do that either.
I think that's like the biggest fear for me. Like that's like when you screwed up the most.
Yeah.
Now there's other names that.
Yeah.
We've been called lots of other
full
things.
Name.
Right. They're shorter, much shorter names.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever like hear your name yelled in a grocery store and jump?
Like by somebody else?
No, like a mom.
Actually trying talking to. Oh.
No, like a mom yelling at a kid with your same. Have you ever?
Name.
Maybe because Matt's like super common.
Yeah, it's pretty popular.
If I hear like a mom yell like my back goes up, it's like
yeah, trauma. That's called trauma.
Yeah.
Trauma response. Have you gone to counseling recently for this, man?
Yeah.
A lot. We just haven't gotten there yet. We're working on it. We're trudging right through. But so Mikey, what did you guys do for Thanksgiving? What did Thanksgiving look like for you?
Well, we just stayed here, and Emily's mom was in town, and she did everything, cooked the whole meal, essentially. Did it all. Because that was the week that he was born, you know. So we were just, I didn't know if we were gonna do food, you know, pizza maybe. Our pizza place is open on Thanksgiving Day. But she killed it. She cranked it all out. I mean, Emily's mom, she's cut from a different cloth, a generation, a few ahead of us, and you know, she knows how to put in some work, and she did. She took care of us, and it was great. Her dad came in town, and then we had some family friends come over, and we just stayed here. So
tell me you have some obnoxious picture of your brand new baby in like a turkey outfit. Tell me.
No turkey. No. That actually would have been a good idea, though. Yeah. I mean, literally a Thanksgiving kid, so might as well should have done something. But
now, what about your side? Did you get to see your side
of my family?
Yeah.
No, they. But my mom's in town this week, so that's been
okay.
nice helping
Gotcha.
out. So we'll go up there for Christmas.
When my daughter was born, everybody was in town. It was like both sides. It was a little overwhelming.
Oh, like I said, that's how it used to, all the other kids, but the fourth one just is one.
I was like, we'll get there when we get there. No,
We'll
that's
see
better.
They all look the same, you know.
My mom and my wife's mom, like trying to out grandma each other, was like dueling grandmas. It was like, it was too much. They were in full fuss over mode. It was crazy.
Yeah, I think, I mean, it's I feel like they feel bad for like coming and staying with us, but I'm like, dude, we need you. Just
no. You're reinforcements.
Don't feel bad. Live here. I mean, whatever.
There's a position opening.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Do you want to do youth ministry? I'm looking for an intern.
Well, Lara, what about you? How was your Thanksgiving? What did you do? Where'd you go?
Yeah, it was great. I was in North Georgia in the Gainesville area. I have a brother and sister-in-law who live up there. And then it's fun because my parents just moved 5 houses down from them. Wow. And so it was fun. And then my sister and brother-in-law came over from Mississippi. They have a 2-year-old, and then my brother and his wife have 3 kids. So it was so fun to be Aunt Lara, and we went to the barn, and I mean, the girls rode horses. They're into that. And so it was fun, like coming up with different games to play with them. And
what were the sleeping arrangements? Like, how does all of this fit in a house?
You know what I did? I stayed with my parents, and then all the kids and little kids, they were at my brother's
smart.
house.
That's great. Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna sleep in. Yeah. So it worked out well, and I was able to just walk down the street to see them. So it was so fun.
Most importantly, you were able to walk down the street the other direction.
The other direction too. Oh, I'm going home. See you guys later.
I'm out.
So it was a lot of fun. I didn't do a whole lot of cooking, but I did help cut potatoes, and so that was my part, which is good, because if I was cooking, it would just be bad news. So but no, it was enjoyable.
I think Matt, you can take credit for cutting potatoes. I think
that counts.
Oh, and I did. So I got out of doing dishes. I was like, I did help.
See, that's
like,
key.
You won. You won.
Yep.
So did the kids do the dishes, or did the
That would have been a good idea, actually. Next year they will be old enough
to do it,
to do the dishes.
Yeah.
No, yeah. But no, it was fun. Matt, what about you?
I may have had like the most fun Thanksgiving I've had in a very, very long time. I got to spend it so Thanksgiving Day, I got to spend with my 2 siblings and their families, which is the first time we've been together since 1997. I mean, like, there's people listening to this podcast that weren't alive when I did that last time I was with my siblings. So that was incredible. I made a flight of turkeys. I made turkey 3 different ways. I thought that was funny because turkeys don't fly. So I provided the main course and took it over to my sister's house, and it was a huge hit. Because when you make the main course, like, that's a lot of pressure. You don't want to screw up the main course. And then Friday, I have a niece and her husband and their 4 kids that live in Denver. So Friday we drove up to Denver about an hour and a half, and went out to dinner with them and hung out with the kids and just had fun aunt and uncle time. And then Saturday, so it was like a whole 3-day thing, but it was also very relaxed and very chill. We went and got our first real tree. So we went to this like family owned nursery Christmas tree farm place and walked around with hot chocolate. It looked like a movie.
Did you have an axe?
No, they're all cut down for you, and they do a fresh cut for you. And so I learned this the night before from my nephew. Like, they get real trees every year, and they cut the bottom off so that it'll soak up the water. They call it a fresh cut. but then they keep the little puck from the fresh cut and they put the year on it. They decorate it, and it's like an ornament.
Yeah.
From each year. And I was like, oh, that's smart. So they did all that for me. They threw it on my tree. But like, what was scary about it was we're walking around and it's so beautiful. It's so cute that I thought I was in a Hallmark movie. Now, what's scary about that is I don't know if I'm the true love or if my wife is going to leave me for the guy that works at the tree farm who's really Santa Claus's son. Like that's
Right.
the fear, right? Like if you find yourself in a Hallmark movie, like which character am I? But and then we really overdid it because we were so excited, enthusiastic. We bought a tree that was like much too big. I mean, like it fit in the house,
and
but
it was $1,000.
well,
that's how much these things cost almost sometimes.
They ain't cheap. It ain't that much, but it ain't cheap.
No.
And like the top like the very top pine on the tree like is like bent over like this because it doesn't because the ceiling's right there. So like the whole tree, it's like fat. It's basically like a taller version of a mat tree. Like it's this giant fat thing, and it takes up.
Hey, it does have an ornament on it though already, right? It's got the
not on the top. We don't have anything. We don't have anything that'll fit on the top. I think we're gonna find a bow and just tie it like on the because the star we have it won't. I'd have to cut into the ceiling.
Oh my gosh, it's like that tree from Christmas Vacation that they bring it.
Oh yeah. There was a real risk that there was like a squirrel in this thing.
Oh, 100%. You probably brought in like a whole ecosystem.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like, but thankfully, like my dog's such a. I don't even know how to describe my dog. He's such a derp. Like my dog doesn't want to even chase a ball. He doesn't play with anything. He just like after Thanksgiving we were watching the Westminster Kennel Dog Show. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like, we're just looking at my dog with disgust. Like I hope you're ashamed. Like, you can't do any of this stuff.
I think I've seen this right after the Macy's Day Parade, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's the most prick, like hotty toddy, whatever.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm like, what is this world? And like the dog looks perfect. All of them look perfect. Like they're doing. Yeah. But yet they're just talking. They're just ripping this dog. I'm like, he's doing the same thing the dog before did. Like
the little prance. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's kind of it's pretty judgmental in the sense of like, oh yeah, it's too short legs, legs are too short. I'm like, sheesh, what are we talking about human beings like this walking around? I guess we do.
No, I think that's the problem. We do now. Like that's and like this is a whole other episode, but like it's like almost like we can't enjoy anything because we criticize everything.
Mm-hmm.
You go out to eat, it's like, oh, how's your dinner? Oh, well, this could have been more like this. This is okay. This was good. And I do it.
The steak wasn't Ruth's Chris level, but I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was our adventure. It was very fun. It was great first Thanksgiving in Colorado.
Yeah.
And it's snowing. So like my daughter had her very first snow day. No, that's not true. She might have had when we were little when we lived in Maryland, but like from middle school through high school, this is her first. Yesterday was her first day off of school because of snow. So that was like magic. And it was beautiful until I had to drive in it today. So
yeah.
Relearning old skills with very high stakes.
Yeah.
Are you going to go skiing?
No.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
How far are you from a ski slope?
Not far.
So like, is that like a cultural thing? Like,
well, there is a lot of people I talk to that will go to the lodges and not ski. Like they'll go hang out
and do the spa stuff.
Or they might go stay there for a weekend to like get away, even if they're not skiers, because like you can just hang out and chill out, which I would do, but no. So if you've ever heard my skydiving story, I have held onto the wing of an airplane at 3,000 feet and paid for the privilege to do so, I will not put sticks on my feet and go down a mountain. That is not going to happen. No. And I've never I hear like snowboarding is easier.
No.
But no, you disagree?
I think
I disagree.
I've heard lots of people say, "Oh, you don't have to go skiing. You should go snowboarding. It's so much easier to do as a beginner." I'm like, so now you're reducing me to one stick.
Yeah.
And I got to be coordinated enough to like.
I mean, maybe it's easier because you have one instead of two that are always overlapping. But I don't know. For me, getting off the chairlift with a snowboard was like a disaster. Because I don't even
want to think about the chairlift. I don't do it like that's a whole thing. That's just you're just adding another way I could die on top of this.
It is in this day and age. The lifts are kind of like, we think this is safe. Like,
right.
We're trusting teenagers to pull a rail down. Like,
so Mikey, you go skiing too, right?
Yes, I love doing that. It's very
okay. So not only have I jumped out of an airplane, I've had a gun to my head on more than one occasion.
Trauma, probably.
Have I not done enough? Have I not like
you've done enough?
What more do you need from me? You've done youth
ministry for 40 years. You're good, dude.
You've done enough.
I mean, like, do I need more adrenaline in my life, more trauma in my life? I don't think so. I don't think I'm very not skiing. No. Now, I will tell you about, speaking of childhood trauma, I'll tell you how we skied when growing up. I grew up next to an expressway, a trucking company, and like a highway. And we would go to the overpass for the expressway, and we would slide, we would go down the hill in the snow.
Oh yeah.
On our feet.
Mm-hmm.
That was the extent of our skiing. And then that was fun. And then the next best thing is when your buddies were walking back up the hill to slide down it again, standing up, you would run and jump and slide on your belly to take their legs out from underneath them. So it was like ghetto skiing and ice bowling all at the same time. That's
great.
That's the extent of it for me. But no.
Sorry. Have you ever played?
You poked the bear. You got me really worked up on the skiing thing. Sorry.
Have you ever played broom ball?
Oh, broom ball is fun.
I played it with Matt
I've never
Lukenbill.
played broom ball.
Oh, you did?
In Michigan.
He'll hurt you.
Yeah. Holy
Matt Lukenbill will take you out.
The dude, it's got some. He will lay the wood. He will, man. So it was fun though. It was fun.
You know, okay. I mean this in the best possible way. And Matt, I hope you're listening because I love Matt Lukenbill. But Matt Lukenbill has like a deceptive athletic ability and strength. Kind of. I'm not saying he's fat, but like Chris Farley. But you look at Chris Farley and you don't think he's athletic because he's fat. You look at Matt and you don't think he's athletic because he's like a pastor and he's been around, and you're like, oh, that guy's just a nice, sweet guy. And then you get on the field and he'll take you out. He'll drop you like a bad habit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He, if people don't know, Matt Lukenbill is the kind of the guy who started this up with Steven Estock. So
yes.
Yeah.
And he was the first leader of our team.
Rest in peace.
He's not dead. He just went and became a real pastor.
Yeah,
he's a quote unquote real pastor. No, but yeah, it was his and he recruited you, Mikey.
Oh yeah. We connected at a conference called Barnabas, and he was like, "Hey, why don't you come over here and start helping us out? Plan." At the time, there was no plan. I mean, it was pretty much just like a whiteboard. What would we like to see happening? And really, no conference really ever. I mean, it came up a little bit, but there were ideas of like, well, what if we did coaching? Kind of like mentoring. Jeff Summers was part of it. Drew Lentz, where he was where you used to be, Matt, and twice he came there twice. Oh, Old Cutler, that's right. He was at Old Cutler too.
My career
You're just following Drew.
I'm just following Drew.
The next step is roofing for you.
Yeah,
I mean that's what roofs. He's very successful at roofs. He runs, and he also runs a marketing company now too, I think. But anyways, moving on. But they, it was such a. Now that I look back on that, I was like, that was just such a crazy time of like where like no one really. I think the idea. I just never imagined a conference, a podcast, a certificate. It's just kind of like, hey, how can we serve PCA youth pastors, youth leaders? And then,
well, I heard about the team and you guys hadn't done anything yet. And I genuinely was like, what is this thing?
Oh, it's all talk. It's been all talk. This is classic ministry. all talk. We're all talking. The one thing that we may have had started was maybe the podcast, barely.
So
maybe.
I was a part of a thing connected with Youth for Christ in Miami that was training youth leaders, and it got shelved, and I was really frustrated. So I called Matt Lukenbill, and if I've told this on the podcast before, I'm sorry, but I had mentored our children's ministry director through the children's ministry certification. So I just called Matt.
That's been going on for a long time.
Yeah, they've been killing it, and I've known Matt for a really long time, and I went to Covenant with his sister, and I just called him because he was like the guy, and I said, I'm really frustrated about this. I said, is there anything like this for youth ministry? Because I want, one of the things that was really lacking in Miami was local development of leaders, even pastors. And we needed to stop importing people, and we needed to start developing people in Miami. It's like the best, dumbest phone call I've ever made, because Matt was like, would you be surprised to learn that your name was on a list of people to contact to help make this happen? And I was like, I would be very surprised if anybody knew my name. I live in America's basement. Like, why would anybody know who I am? Well, think about it. Florida, it's like humid, it's weird, there's bugs. It's basically the basement.
Yeah, it is.
If you're from a part of the country that has a basement. So so that's how Matt roped me in.
Wow. See, I didn't know any of this, of like how it started, and Mikey, how long you've been on the team, and how many years ago was that when all of this kind of started and transpired?
I think it was starting around 2017.
Okay.
Is when the first, and I could be wrong. It could be 2016, 2015.
Okay.
But 2017 was when it seemed like the team was forming. And there may have been, Stephen Estock may have been a little bit before then, but the team was actually forming and starting to have some teeth to it, like real, like people getting, like we were actually getting together in person and praying and talking about the things. I think Sarah Litton, she's in Birmingham. Where is she though? Covenant Church, maybe. Sarah Litton was on it. Drew Lentz, Jeff Summers, Cammie Summers.
Matt, a lot of overlap with Barnabas.
Overlap with Barnabas and Perimeter. And then because Perimeter Church was, I don't know. That's where the PCA.
Matt was at Perimeter at the time. It is.
That's
PCA.
right. Matt was at Perimeter. I was like, why were we so connected? I was like, because it was Matt and Jeff Summers. They were connected to Perimeter, and it was all geared towards. It's always been like, how do we serve PCA youth leaders and like this children's? Because the children's team has been doing it. I mean, a while. Yeah. I mean, maybe over a decade. I would say. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe even longer. But then it really became. It became something when we really came to the conclusion that a conference was going to be, that's when it really started being like, okay, and that's where like the podcast sort of was like, okay, how do we start creating a network of people that would want to come to a conference together? Well, let's just start. And so then the podcast ran for maybe 2 years, like kind of up and down a little bit. Like I wasn't even on it. I was actually like the Katie role on it. And there was 2 others that were kind of leading it, and then they kind of, youth ministry is so transient, obviously. Every 6 months and so then I stayed plugged in, and then I don't know, did we kill it for a little bit? Maybe it was gone for like a hot minute. I mean, it might have been 6 months. It disappeared.
I don't think so. I think
it was Meredith came on. Which was fun.
So when I came on, all we had was the podcast, and there was a plan to do the certification and the conference. And I was initially on the conference team.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I don't know how from week to week, I don't know how to
wanted
advance.
to be on the best team. That's what you want.
And so I was like, I don't know how to make this go forward every week. I don't know what to do every week to move this forward. I said, I think I could do better making
Well,
the
and you were helping us
happen.
with all the tech side of things and like trying to.
Yeah, I had designed the original website. I had put together the first website and some of our tools. And I was like kind of like the, what do they call it in Spider-Man? I was the guy in the chair. I was like the nerd.
I will say the way it started was one of the most like kind of like classic, like it was clearly the Lord just making it happen in the sense of like we weren't really like we were so passive in it in some ways. Like it required God to like do something.
Yeah.
And honestly, Stephen S. thought too, and Matt Lucanville, obviously, but it's like we were just kind of like we were just following the flow. And the Lord has clearly blessed those prayers and that season of just wanting to take care of our denomination people in our, which is really cool, really, really exciting. So then Isaac came along. I mean, did Isaac come after you, right, Matt? Or maybe at the same time?
Yes, he came after me. Yeah.
And he was actually doing the developing during COVID. So during COVID, he started a youth pastor online network that would meet on Skype once a month. Not Skype, Zoom. Wow. That was
6 or half dozen of the other.
Yeah. Zoom. And he would actually facilitate like trainings, because he's been doing it forever too. And then I guess I was like, you guys, this guy for the certificate, I think that's what he got plugged into. I was like, you should talk to him because he has a whole like kind of scope and sequence that he's doing already.
Yeah.
So then they brought him on to do that. And then obviously Matt Lucanville steps away and Isaac fills in. So it's pretty cool.
Which is an interesting thing that, I think that we should point out for everybody that's listening is what is required to be on the team. And that is that you do have to be
involved in youth ministry.
Yeah, like directly involved in youth ministry and in the PCA. Because there's lots of people that I think we would love to have on the team that are incredible youth people.
Studs.
But they're just they just have a different set of letters that we're all very compatible with. Like
they don't believe in the Westminster Confession of Faith.
I would say they're completely in line with what we do, but they're just in like an adjacent denomination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just a commitment that we make, that you kind of have to be directly involved in youth ministry. And that's been tough because we've had people take some other positions that are like, again, adjacent, maybe even overlap or similar, but they're not in a church context. And that's been hard. Or then, like Matt got the opportunity to plant a church, and he's an incredible leader. And, but then we're very blessed to have Isaac, who was already on the team, step up and take over as the head facilitator of our 3 teams and our whole team under Stephen Estock. And, so this is a little bit of a pivot.
One little random thing. We were going to launch a conference in 2020.
Oh,
and then COVID happened. We did all this stuff with By Faith. We had all these articles coming out. I remember, and the only reason why I remember this with By Faith was because they talked to some of us, and they decided to quote me bashing Detroit. Like literally, just like only thing they quote me on is talking about how crappy of a city Detroit is, essentially. And that, hey, the gospel needs to go there too, essentially. Like some like out of context line, I guess I said, like kind of on this, interview with the person writing it. And I was like, that's what they take from, like, and then people were.
What you think I would say as the kid from Chicago? I was mortified when our first my first meeting with all of you was in Detroit.
Oh my gosh.
In the freezing cold, 0
in the freezing weather. Cold, where Matt Lucanville's like, come on, let's just walk everywhere. And we're like, what's wrong with you?
Come experience the city.
Yeah. And I was like, I have a hatred for Detroit from a sports fan kind of point of view. And that was our first conference was in Detroit, and then we've done 2 in Maryland.
So it got canceled in 2020. And it was kind of embarrassing because it was like all of this hype. And then when we actually launched it, we had 0 hype. Did no hype. Like no marketing really. Like, I mean, there was some, but it wasn't in articles. It wasn't. and then it launches and it's awesome, So anyways, God is funny, has some fun with us. Random
youth pastors plan and God laughs, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So, one of the things that we wanted to talk about was really how thankful we are for all of you. I was talking with wow, I'm blanking on the other Steve. Why can't I say his last name? Dahlwig. Yeah, we were talking in Maryland, and I got the pleasure to go speak at a retreat for Steve and Tim, and we were hanging out, and it was really great and kind of talking, and it was, Steve and Tim and I are in an age group, that really people look at us and are like, why are you still doing this? And there was kind of two things that we had in common. And I think that they're major motivations for us why we're involved in the PCA Next Gen. And that was, while I did go to school to learn about youth ministry and had an incredible teacher and mentor and hero in that, once I got into the field, I was on my own. Mm-hmm. And I was a rookie. I was young. I was dumb. And my motto back then, Lara and we talked about this a little bit the last time we were together, was whatever I didn't know, I would make up for and hustle. I would just try harder. So there was two characteristics that we found that we had in common. And that was, there really wasn't anybody there for us, but we just didn't quit. And that has created a resiliency in us, and that's helped us enjoy the privilege of doing this kind of work, even if other people don't view it as a privilege, and a strong desire to not have anybody else in the denomination experience that. Mm-hmm. Where we want you guys to know that we're actually here for you. Like, we are thankful for you and want to be here and be available for you so that you don't experience that, but also so that you won't quit.
Yeah.
And there's a guy that was an incredible youth pastor who moved on to take over his own church. And he stepped into my life at a very difficult time through Barnabas, was an incredible encouragement to me. And that's Charles Johnson, who was on the permanent committee for a while. And I think it was his, and it's not his, he'll tell you it's not his quote, but he's the one that told it to me. And that was, there are no great youth pastors. There's only guys that don't quit. Guys in the gender inclusive term.
Yes,
yeah. And I mean, in the Navy, the word captain has two meanings. It's a specific rank in the chain of ranks, but it's also whoever's in command of a particular vessel. And so, I'm not trying to be controversial here, but there is the legal status of being a pastor, like an ordained PCA pastor. And then there is the role of being pastoral in people's lives. And so that means if you're a youth director or you're a man or a woman and you're being you're pastoring people, you're caring for people. That's all I mean. I'm not picking a fight. So when I use that term, I use it kind of broadly and inclusively. Yeah, we want to encourage you. We want to help you. We want to, I got the privilege of, there's a guy I hang out with every other week, and we Zoom, not Skype because Skype's dead. And actually we FaceTimed. That's even better.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is Skype actually dead? I think
if anybody uses Skype, I would be so surprised.
It probably is dead.
And the world is turning more Apple every day, which is a good thing tech wise, as far as I'm
concerned. So you're FaceTiming.
If you can FaceTime, that's best. But like, dude, you know what a privilege it was to like just let him ask me questions. Like, what do you think about this? And what do you like, just whatever he's working on. And not that I have the answers, but I just have done some of those things. And I said, well, here's what I thought about this. Here's how I've approached this in the past, and just give him data to work with and make his own decisions. Like, that's a real privilege. Like, and I'm super thankful for that, because this kid's, I call him a kid, but I mean, like, this young man's got like the guts, the heart, the mind for it. He just lacks the experience to define himself in the ministry. And that's, I did all that the hard way by hitting lots of walls and making lots of mistakes. And so, if you're listening and you're doing youth ministry, whether you're a youth director, ordained youth pastor, volunteer, like we are, in this post Thanksgiving episode, we're so thankful for you, but want to encourage you, And so that's what we're going to talk about a little bit today with the 15 minutes we have left is what are your guys' kind of favorite moments? And there's obvious ones, but like maybe some of the also not so obvious moments where you're so thankful that you're doing what you're doing. And I'll lead off with an example. Like obviously when you go to camp and if a kid, makes a decision for Christ, that like is a wave that just can carry you for a year, for a couple of years. But I find that like some of the times where I'm just overwhelmed with how thankful I am would be like right after a retreat or right after camp. And you've come back to the church, you've unloaded the vans, you haven't slept, you haven't eaten anything worthwhile. And you want to shower, you want to eat, you want to sleep all at the same time. But there's like this moment where everyone's picked up and all the other leaders have gone and you're just on the porch or whatever. And it's just quiet. And it's like this, I don't know. It's like one of my favorite moments of just like, I can't believe I get to do this. What a great trip we had. What incredible relational growth we got to see with other people and with the Lord. And it's a wave. It's something that it's like, it makes me thankful. It's encouraging and it's motivating for me. What are some of those things for you guys?
Yeah, the thing that kind of just right off the top of my head, I'm thankful for the prayer request cards that we just offer to students at the end of the night. It's optional for them to fill out those prayer request cards, but the amount of kids who do it, I'm just so thankful. Literally after Wednesday night, like I go home and I read them right away, and just hearing what is on their heart, what they care about, what's concerning them, what is bringing them joy, what they're having difficulty with. A common prayer request that I read often is their just their desire to be closer to God and for their friends to know Jesus. Like I've gotten that more recently in the past few months from students, and they can write their name on it or not, like it. But I'm so thankful for those cards and just the opportunity to pray for students and what God is doing in their lives. And so that would be just one way, I think, just sitting and praying for them in that way, and just thankful for the way they're sharing their faith with those around them for some of those students. And that's just encouraging to me in my own heart. And just reading even the simple prayer request where, it's like God doesn't overlook those small things and those small things to us. I mean, why is this, kid praying for this ridiculous thing? And it's like, it's not ridiculous to the Lord. And so I'm thankful for that, for those cards.
That's awesome. That's wonderful.
Maybe the most new thing to me has been started this thing called the Journey curriculum thing. We do groups like that. We've been doing it for years, but I started a new one this year with two guys that were in my youth group. And so now they're post-college, or one's in college, and then got some other guys that are in their late 20s, early 30s. And these two guys are in their group. We share our stories, and just thankful that like I got to be part of those. Like I've known those guys almost one of them half their lives, you know what I mean? Half their life. And the other, like, getting close to in a few years will be half his life. You know what I mean? It's like in a year or two.
That sounds pretty peak, Mikey.
It's awesome.
That sounds pretty peak.
It sounds so. It's just so thankful because when they share their stories, it's like I know every chapter pretty much, except for the early years, which they barely remember anyways. But essentially, their conscious existence, I've seen them, and I've walked that. And one of the things, because my youth pastor, still part of my life, he was just with me this week, is always just trying to follow him in his footsteps of like, it's not just a few years with you guys. And then like, I always want to treat it like forever I am available. Yeah. I hope that like, I will grow in gratitude too, when they call me 10 years from now, whoever it is, or they come back into town for holiday to see family and they come to church and they see me and hug me. You know what I mean? Like those are at church or whatever it is. Like I look for, or they have babies, one of them has some of them have kids now, and I got and got to see them. And it's just like, whoa, like, those are moments where it's like, what an honor to play a part in their stories, a small season, part, but for them right now, it's a significant amount in grand scheme. Like when they're much older, they'll be like, oh, Mikey was just here for, but really it's just a treat to be part of their stories. Lord inviting me into that with them. So I'm super grateful for that, to have seen them kind of at their worst. But, for them to know I love them there.
Yeah.
And I still love them. Like there's a grown person that loved me, even maybe when my parents seemed like they didn't love me. Someone else in the church loved me too. You know what I mean? Like, of course their parents love them, but in a teenager's mind, they're like, my parents hate me. It's like, no, they're just parenting.
Or I hate them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But what a gift to be the adult, the other mature human, to be also just pretty much saying the same thing their parents are saying, but also in a way that just to support them and love them through that.
Yeah. To piggyback on that, like
season.
Yeah. To piggyback on that, we, this past Sunday, Chris Hodge was preaching and he was talking about propitiation. And he was talking about the depth of that concept, but the way he boiled it down was, it's not just this, that you have this status. It means that God's not mad at you. And it's like, there's this adolescent thing that I think that we all have with God, where if we like understand our sinfulness, we have a hard time embracing the grace that comes with propitiation. And that it's not just that we're not going to hell, it's that God isn't mad at us. That he actively loves us and enjoys us even now. And it was really just beautiful. I was like kind of envious. I'm like, what a great thing that you get to say from the pulpit. Not just theological education, but also like practical application of understand this core, like emotional truth. And I think that's what you're saying, Mikey, is that we get to be an adult that says, hey, you're loved. We care for you.
Yeah. I enjoy you.
Enjoy you. Yeah. Even in your goofiness, even in your, and actually like even all these longevity things that we're talking about that are kind of like, using this term peak, which is weird because I'm by the mountains and there's lots of peaks. It's new for me. That's not the goal. Like I love sixth graders too. I don't just love, you know what I mean? Like it's also kind of the fun thing is that it all starts over. And if you're really in it for relationships and getting to know kids, like you always get to know new kids. There's always another batch coming up or new kids that you get to meet. So it's when you get to combine the old and the new, I think is what's really peak. When you get to have new and longevity.
Yeah.
That's the best of both worlds. And I think that's what makes, and interestingly enough, like adult ministries can be fairly static. When you're the senior pastor of a large church, you don't get to interact with everybody. You're preaching to people that don't change or don't grow as much as on a drastic level. as our students who are changing as human beings and becoming who they're going to be. So it is kind of fast and furious for us. And that's really exciting too. How do you guys, what are some ways that you like to show how thankful you are for your volunteers? What are some things that you guys do to show that gratitude to them?
Free pizza on Wednesday.
Mountain Dew.
The best pizza our church can afford at a regular rate.
Right. Yeah. Little Caesars.
Exactly. We make money off Little Caesars. $1 a slice.
Oh, man. I think for me, and this might sound sly, and I'm not trying to be sly, but saying it more.
How is that sly?
Not just to say it, but
I thought you were gonna like sneak into their house and leave little notes. I was like, what do you mean by sly? Like, I want them to know that I appreciate them, but I don't want them to know it was me.
I show up at their house and I'm just already in there, and they're like,
they come home from youth group and you're in the couch like, well, hello.
I'm already there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They're like, how'd you get here so fast? No, not that kind of sly. I mean,
okay.
That'd be one way you could think.
Oh, you're going first. That's why you're being sly. You're going to go first and say the most obvious thing. Okay,
right,
I got you.
That's what I mean. Not creepy sly. But yeah, I think just for me, like, not just to say it, but I think sometimes for me, there's this tendency of, I gotta get the job done. I gotta get this task accomplished, or set this goal and accomplish that, where sometimes I can not see the people right in front of me. And even though, like, I know I'm thankful for them, I don't always express that and say that. And so I think saying it, but then also to one way that I think volunteers is just through experiences. So, for example, like on Saturday, taking the team to go bowling, all paid for, and just to a thank you for us to hang out, to enjoy each other. We want to hang out on Wednesday night, but it's like kids all around. So I think thanking them with an experience they've enjoyed would be one way. And then I think too, it's with individuals, like individually doing it. Like if you see a volunteer do something or say something to a student, or they're having a conversation with a student, or they're doing something on a Wednesday night, where you could follow up and just be like, hey, when you did that thing or said that to that student, or are praying, the way you show up, like, I appreciate you, and I appreciate you continuing to show up and be faithful. So I think those are just ways that I think can communicate our gratitude for them.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What about you guys?
Mikey?
Yeah, it's one of the areas where I'm not 100% sure we nail it, but we do, we try to get them a personal little gift at the end, like right now, but we try not to make it super generic. We try to make it somewhat connected to who they are a little bit, like an effort, whether that's just kind of like a goodie bag with like kind of some of their favorite snacks, and what I mean. And then we'll have like kids write letters, some of their kids.
Oh, that's a great
really
idea.
Cool.
So, and then some of the letters of the kids write are just, they're just like inside jokes. But it's like, I'm like, the leader is going to appreciate it, but the kid's totally just being a troll about it too. Like, but it still counts, they're still.
But they know.
Yeah. And then what we're trying to do this year is get pictures, like by the end of the year, a photo with them with their kids, and
that's cool.
Frame it.
That's a great idea.
We used to do things more like, oh, here's like a logo, a cup with our logo on it, which is cool. I mean, and we'll still maybe throw that in every now and then, but it's like, I'm like, the stuff I keep around my office are just pictures of me with the kids. I'm like, that just sticks with me. I just keep that. Like, I can't throw that away. I don't know why. I was like, and I love having it. Like it's real. Like that really happened. Like I was with those kids.
I like all of those. Are some great ideas.
Yeah.
and none of us are nailing it, but
no.
just anything, anything that we do uniquely that gives somebody else a handhold. Oh, I could try that, or that could work. I love giving the Christmas gift, and I like to do something branded to the youth group, but that nobody else is going to have.
Yeah.
So
it's like special to, it's not like the like generic, like everybody has the coffee mug. You know what I mean? Like,
no, it might be a coffee mug, but no kid's going to have a coffee mug.
Okay,
it might be like a nice water bottle.
It's not just like the extra merch that's lying around.
No. Yeah, it has to. It's like I've done the PFG fishing shirts.
Here's some Southland T-shirts, guys.
Here's what's left over from the event.
Here's a youth small Southland T-shirt.
I'm big on branding to teach. Using branding to communicate to your students what the mission and vision of the ministry is, and building excitement around that. So like, I like to do like a t-shirt every year just for the youth group that has some sort of variation of the logo and the name and vision about, but like I've done PFG fishing shirts for the leaders, which was appreciated more by the guys. This is in Miami more than the girls. Long sleeved, like again, in Miami, we would do like the long, cause it's Christmas gifts. So we do long sleeve t-shirts that the kids don't have. Stuff that sets them apart as leaders, and I love it like when they wear it to church, so that people know that's our youth leader, right? It's kind of like, and we all know how I over exaggerate things. Like youth leaders, volunteer youth leaders are the Navy SEALs of the church. Like they go places nobody else wants to go. They can do things nobody else can do. I want them to be recognized as that. So yeah, I like that kind of stuff. I like
what about a picture of your face on a t-shirt? That's what I want. Autographed by you. That's what I want.
I bought a blanket off of TikTok with my face on it for our white elephant this year.
Did you really?
I 100%.
There's the Holy Spirit's speaking right now through us. This is.
I'll order a second one for you, Mikey. I'll send you a warm fuzzy blanket with my giant head on it.
You know, one of the pastors here at our church, he's not here anymore, but he used to have a blanket on his couch, and it was a picture of Joe Novenson.
No way! No way!
He's like, don't you just want to sit on this couch and snuggle with Joe? I'm like, yeah. And it's kind of true. Like, if you know Joe, like, all you want to do is get a hug from him. Like, but
I got a letter in the mail from Joe.
Oh,
and I feel like a rock star. Like, just that I got a letter from Joe. But now I feel like there's a market. I feel like I've just found a side hustle where I'm going to make Joe Novenson merch and create an Etsy shop.
Yeah, you can have all the money.
Oh yeah, of course he would.
Wait, can you text him and ask him? He mentioned a book called PK. I cannot find it anywhere. By I think the preacher was Moody, and it was his son who wrote it. I really want to get my hands on that book, but
yeah, text me later because I won't remember once we stop recording. But yeah,
all right,
yeah, those are awesome. How do you guys show your kids you're thankful for them?
Just showing up.
Yeah, right.
Just being here.
I don't know that they always get that. I don't always get how much we appreciate that. No, not just what you said, Mikey. I mean, I feel like there's lots of things that I like to do. Like you said, you like, I don't ever want to charge kids money for food.
Yeah.
We have like a snack bar kind of set up with all kinds of candy on display, and they can buy it. Like, I continue it because they love to buy it. They love to buy it. Like, they love being autonomous and bringing in their dollars and buying candy that they don't always get, I guess. But, like, I always want to just buy food and just give it away. And we all have our love languages. Like food is like a big love language for me. So that's one way, but yeah. Yeah. So Lara, tell us a little bit about our holiday schedule.
Yeah. So we are, let's see. So next week, December 11th is, our last podcast episode of 2025. Can't believe that.
And that ends the 2025 season.
Yep.
Wow.
Thank you for sticking with us.
Wait, does that mean it's been a year? Have we been live for a year?
Yes, I think so.
Did we start this last January?
Yep, we did.
We did a year live?
Let's
go.
Whoa.
Let's go.
Wow. That went by fast.
I feel like we should apologize to the public for being live for a year.
I know.
We're sorry, YouTube, that
and
you had to
here
deal with
too.
that.
Here we come.
we have ruined YouTube.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt. By the way, this was Mikey's idea.
Yes.
And I think maybe this is a last episode of the year comment, but I'm going to make it now. I think this is the best idea we've had for the podcast since I've been involved. I think
I've had a lot of ideas.
You've had a lot of ideas. We don't talk about
finally has struck.
But I think this has made this so much more fun for us.
It really has.
Oh yeah.
It was scary
and stressful, scary and stressful too.
But it's so fun.
Yeah, to me, it has like a Saturday Night Live kind of feeling of like, hey, 12:30 on Thursday is gonna happen, whether we're ready or not.
Yep,
here we are.
It's like jumping out of an airplane every week, and it's keeping me old and young at the same time.
Although it's 9:30 for you, so it's like
it's very early for me.
Early, yeah.
Yeah.
For youth. Yeah. For a youth guy to get.
Yeah, that's early.
Yeah, that's a curse of the West, I guess.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, sorry, never mind.
But yeah, so the 11th is our last one for the year, and then when are we picking it back up again?
January 8th. We'll be back.
Bigger, badder, faster. No, I don't know. I might be bigger. I might be bigger for all the eating.
Oh, dude, 100%. That holiday Christmas.
I think all of us are going to be with the holiday
There'll
stuff.
be more of us to appreciate.
We're gonna need bigger boxes.
More to love.
More to love.
More to love. All right, guys. Well, we pray that you guys. Actually, let me just say a prayer for you guys that are listening and watching. And let's pray. Father God, we want to thank you so much, not only for the privilege of being called into your family, but being called into your mission, not only to be a part of the kingdom, but to help build the kingdom and to serve your precious children, Lord. And Father, I want to lift up anybody that's listening. Lord, I pray that you would encourage them. We know that this is difficult. We know that it's messy. Father, we pray that you would bless them with some insight into the good that they're doing for your kingdom, that they would be shown that they're appreciated by their church, by their pastor, by their parents, and by their kids. Lord, we pray for their families that sacrifice time for them to do this. Time away from them sometimes, time with them as a family, sometimes families doing it together. Lord, we pray that the holidays would be a time of encouragement, that it'd be a time of rest while the students connect more with their families, and we take a little bit of a break and a back seat. And Father, we just pray that everyone would be encouraged, empowered, and equipped through their relationships with other youth leaders, through certification if they're going through it, or their time at the conference and relationships that are built from them. But most importantly, Lord, I pray that we would rest in your Son, Jesus, that we would find strength in that his love would be real to us, and that the overflowing of it would spill into the lives of our students, and that they would see Jesus in us. We pray these things in your holy name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, guys. Have a great week, and we will see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.